Tracy.
Which one? Mine. Yours? It's good, huh? Is it? Yeah, it's nice. I don't know what's this. What about the same inside? There's something new about it? Oh, letting it grow. Oh. It's shaggy.
Next is gonna be gel.
Nice. Outside. Ready to go? That's the job. Slow down to a walk. Grab a partner. Slow but steady. Nice and easy. Side control skates. 2 minutes. Switch. Start out no resistance. Side control skate, nice, no resistance. We'll turn it up. You can turn it up if you like at the 1 minute, but this is a warm up, folks. Nice and easy. Right here. You guys work together. You get them up. Let's go, let's go! Remember, nice and easy again. Until you start to get a little resistance if you want it. 1 minute. Nice and easy. Work your escapes. Person on top, switch it up a little bit. Do some scar pull every once in a while. Maybe do some reverse side control with your back's facing them. Give them some options to work with. It's a good time for them to practice. Better to see those positions here than in the live roll and not know what to do.
A little too much space. A little too much space.
All right, 20 seconds. Hey, next we're gonna do mount escape. So when the buzzer hits, person on top, you're on the bottom. Get mounted. When the buzzer hits, top person goes to the bottom, and then we do mount escape. Same process. Nice and easy. Go ahead and hit the mount. Mount. Remember, nice and easy. We're going nice and slow to start. Then you turn it up at the minute mark. Switch. Nice and easy. Nice and easy.
The rat trap.
Wrap around the bridge.
Is it like this? Can't tell
Just
her.
one side. So
like
basically,
this?
first you can break her down since she's never going to have that. So one good thing, swoop around her waist, squeeze tight, stick your head to the side of her chest or whatever, and see how she broke down.
Yeah.
And then if she sits up still, go ahead and sit up still again, Kat. You put both your feet by your butt. No, keep your grip. Keep your grip. Now put both of your feet by your butt, and as she goes to sit up, bump with your feet. You can do that, but that just keeps her broken down. If she's trying to sit up immensely, just pull her down, pull her down, pull her down, till she's. And then, wrap it when she's low. Have you ever done that?
I feel like I didn't know how to.
Don't worry. But start this. If you can, better way.
I know, I'll bring this foot. My head
You're going out. Now, try to see how now it's much easier for you here, rather than here.
And then this hand.
Let me see this one. Right up here. Turn it like a cup of water. I control medium. Open the stomach. Grab the tricep. Now wing it close to your body. Now, look at me. Look at me. Keep looking at me. Now bridge over to elbow. How easy is that? That feel a little better than easier. So the more you move your head out of the way, you go that way, and it's smooth. Nice and smooth. Time, everybody! A couple moves and some concepts from the back. Alright, I'm not going to go into, if some of you know, a straight jacket series, which is a very fine series. This is kind of what Gordon Ryan does when he's finishing folks at the highest level. It's a step-by-step algorithm process of dealing with problems and solving them and then continuing to move forward to the choke. We're going to do a little bit of that, but what we're going to talk about, you'll see the moves, but more importantly, pick up the concepts, okay? And then we'll have, I'll use one or two little control moves and then a submission, right? An unorthodox one. We worked that the other day when we were working the other night. So, here's the situation. Seatbelt grip from the back, top hand hangs, bottom hand hooks, always, okay? We're here, put your chin on their shoulder, maneuver their head. If you can get a little closer, get closer, uncomfortably close. Ear to ear, listen to what they think and hear, right? Feet never cross, because you get that sweet ankle lock that you can either let them break your ankles because you have integrity, or you can tap. But if you do this, yeah, be ready to tap because it's going to be painful, right? Sometimes your feet slip out and you're safe. But just be aware. Don't do this. It feels good. You think it makes you better, but it doesn't. Feet down. If they cross them, you point your feet, right? So here we have this control. Now, CJ's job is to escape, right? He's going to be trying to get these and keep these from choking. Yeah? So when we're here and we're relaxed, CJ's got movement and mobility. Look how he moves his arms, he can push away, he can do all this stuff. The uncomfortability, tightness of your rear naked or your back control is going to dictate his level of escape and his threat level, right? Here, it's not that bad. No, he's like, I got time, I got space, I can scoop, I can do my thing. But if I simply take my hooking hand and I pull it back with my back muscle, notice what it did to his arm. His arm is relaxed, but then when I pull it back, it moves it back. I put my head forward and I bring my elbows backwards towards me. Now, I'm not using a whole lot of energy, I'm not getting gassed, but I am uncomfortably close to CJ and the threat is real and it's very, very close. Even to the point where I'm moving his head off center line, making it more uncomfortable. Right? So CJ from this point is going to start attacking or defending the chokes, which is fine, right? We know that if you've been training long enough, the seatbelt grip is not enough. There's going to be people dynamically trying to escape, moving their body. Now, one of the concepts we can use is this, very simple concept. If he's constantly worried about his neck, he can't address his hooks. At higher levels, we can do multiple things at once. We can escape with hooks, and we can protect our neck at the same time. But in the beginning, as you're growing up in jiu-jitsu, you kind of focus on one thing. Get a little tunnel vision, and that's what we hope for. I hope CJ gets that tunnel vision, because guess what? He's here, now I've reached around and grabbed his grip. And now I'm coming up here to choke him. What's he not doing? He's not going to be trying to get my feet off of his hips. And that's the key, because if I don't have hooks, I don't have CJ. He can walk up and roll out, and unless I know a very good and effective process for keeping that rear naked choke grip, he's going to get out. So you have to maintain the hips. So think about that. Good hip control. If I sit here like this and keep a lax posture, I can still maintain CJ. Yeah? I push my heels in, bring my hips close to his lower back, and I can sit here like this. CJ, and now what's he addressing? He's addressing my hooks and my legs, because he has to. So, distraction, keeping him up here. He's fighting, go nice and slow, go the wrist, just do a basic what you would want to do, someone is here. Now, the next thing I'm going to tell you is this. when you're defending this rear naked choke, which grip or which defense from you do you think is more effective? The hand on this side pressing against, or the hand on this side hanging? The pressing or the hanging? Hanging, pressing, pressing. So, our minds, you think so. You think the pressing, this side stopping and blocking it, is going to stop my fist from coming across and choking it. That's what we think. Just like if we think we cross our ankles, we're doing more and doing better. It's not wrong to do this, but it's not as effective as the hanging, right? This is not going to stop me, because when CJ puts his hand, even if CJ puts his hand on the other side, yeah? I make this with my knuckle, I come behind his ear, not to his hand, behind his ear, and then I just start to wiggle and drill press this across until it pops through. But if he hangs his hand on my wrist, he doesn't have to flex, he just lets him hang, and it's right there, right? CJ's using 2-on-1, right? Watch how this works, 2-on-1, here, no on, right? I'm going easy because he's got the band on it, but if somebody does 2-on-1 and you're holding this here, fake it, I really want this, don't want this. He pulls to get it away, make space for my hook, right? If I try to do this from back here, he's tucking his chin, he's ducking his head, all this, right? Goes back to that initial here, close, all right? So the few things we worked on here is this. Your position in taking the back. Sure, this is nice and comfortable for everyone. This, uncomfortable for him. No crossing the feet, keeping them here. If I start to lose this upper battle, doesn't matter as long as I keep good hips here and I can keep a good control, a fairly good control on his shoulders, right? He starts fighting with my hands. I have to be thinking, which grip do I want to go with and which way can I attack? If he hooks his hands on my choking arm, don't keep trying to fight this unless you're baiting something. Be strategic with your moves. But you know that if I mess around and make him really feel that threat, then I can shoot through and come back with the other one. Start moving that head over. But I also know this, if I'm trying to choke CJ, he puts his hand on the opposite side of his head for a defense, he's here, he brings it over to the other side, I don't worry about it. Right? This position is not meant to be very comfortable and nice and gentle. If you've got somebody's back, one of your biggest and most effective tools you can use is your head, to move his head, right? If I simply choke CJ like this, or if I come in with this grip, or just on the shoulder is usually where I get this one from, and I start to pull this elbow back, okay? But if I come in and I press his head in, you see how far forward my chin is? There's the difference in the exertion I have to give in order to get the choke, right? So, concept, head helps a lot. Use your head, right? Our upper body attacks are good for submissions, but they're also for distractions to keep him from fighting out of our hooks, right? If I'm here and CJ's fighting on my hooks and he's pulling my legs and my ankles and he's using his hands or whatever it is, he's not respecting the fact that I can attack him and choke him. So if I start doing, there's a hand not helping him up here. So I start throwing in attacks. He wants to keep doing that, he's gonna get choked. Let him get choked. Boom, we're attacking up here. Sorry. Boom, boom, we're attacking. We're doing all the things, right? Guess what he's not worried about no more? Guess what he's not messing with? He starts messing with those feet again, we need to start doing more attacks on his neck. We need to start coming in heavy, making that threat happen. Notice how he stops. Then he goes back to it again, but his neck is starting to get attacked again. Here we go. And he's like, I can't. So, concepts of using it is closeness, uncomfortably close on your back. When you're on their back, be there. 100% in their side, right? Nice and greasy, grimy, moving their head to the side. Make it uncomfortable for them. Then, Don't cross your ankles. Just keep those hips controlled, okay? If you know and would like to, you can mess around with the body triangle, put them off to one side, such as that, the hip control. We'll go over that in a second. We'll do more legs on the hips and stuff in a second. For the upper body, nice tight, elbows back, head in there, moving it around. Play with putting in submission. Training partners, if you don't feel like you're being threatened, start messing with their feet. Then you start attacking their neck a little bit. If they cross defend, know you can come across. But if they hang, use it, bait them into forgetting about that other arm. Slide that. All right, let's give those scenarios some work, and we'll go from there. When we come back, we'll talk about more controlling with the legs. All right? Anybody got any questions? All right, on three. 1, 2, 3. So you said this is your third class? Okay, cool. Just get so top hand hangs, bottom hand hooks. Yes, pull those up in here. You don't have to like strain till you're shaking. Just like nice tension, just a good solid tension. Something that you feel comfortable holding for a good bit, but at the same time is not relaxed too much. Right? How's that feel, Tab? That feels pretty good. Feel move a little bit, Tab. So the only thing activated, yes, the only thing activated should be your back muscles at this point. You start reaching over as she bites. Yep, but wait. Now remember, she's got 2 hands on your hanging arm. Your other arm, yeah, your arm's free. There's nothing stopping you. Bring it to her shoulder and curl those fingers here. Curl those fingers on her back. Yeah, that's a huge joke. She now has to deal with that. So from here, you would just throw your chin on there like that and bring your elbow across the back. There you go. Take hold. Yep. Chin on that hand, chin on your hand and your wrist, helps lock it in. Even if it's just mental, it helps lock it in. You're just like, oh my gosh, you know? And you go from there. So he pulls away, let him fight a little bit, shoot that other hand across. Boom. All the way through, head to the other side, go back. Nice. You don't even have to pull me back. Put your hand as far back as you can. Your chin is there. That's way worse for you. Carry that. Lock it behind your hand. Reaching to grab this out. To the other one. You shoot it also. Yes. See how he had his head in the air? Nice. Like that. Hold it. There you go.
Is this how you're gripping?
Yes. Top hand hangs, bottom hand hooks, and you're just there. Elbows come back nice and like almost like you're pinching your shoulder blades together, but not like squeezing to the teeth, right? It's pretty tight. Ask your partner, move around a little bit. Feels pretty tight. They're there. And you just kind of chill and wait, see what they're going to turn. You know what's funny? You take your left elbow and elevate it a little bit. See how it brought her arm up? Is that more or less anchored? Yeah. So if she's really like pulling and doing stuff, lift that elbow up. Right? She puts 2 on 1, you shoot it across, head to the other side, chin on your wrist or your hand, whatever's easier. Head forward as far as you can. Yep.
What happened is back. I feel like I'm either way down here, or if I'm trying to be up here, my
Yeah.
So what should I do?
So you need your hooks to keep. You need your hooks to keep. Right? You can always scoot your hips back to bring you to low, to make their posture lean back to give you more access. So come back, come in. You're here, right? Then just scoot your hips back and turn their shoulders back. You don't want to go too hard because then they start to sink down and it gets difficult to choke them. You can scoot back and adjust, but you don't want to give too much space, right? So it's one of those things you just gotta judge. You want to be up on the shoulders more, but you're a little shorter, scoot back, let them move. But you don't want to jeopardize your hooks. Like you said, if you lose your hooks, it's over, they're out. There's no getting it back. Yeah. Hooks are very important because they can be so focused on defending their neck that you might not even be attacking. You might just have a hand there. They're just never worried about their hooks getting and that's the kind of thing you gotta understand. I'm good. I'm not submitting. I'm controlling. You just gotta get used to, balancing. Because your top arm is not far away. Separate your body. See how the arm just came up? They're losing the ability to bring it down.
When are you going to break to go for the chokes?
When he gives you the opening. When you see that opportunity. But that position right there, because he's not liking this. He's going to bring that elbow down. You can bring your elbow up. So bring your elbow down. Don't fight the strength. Let him do it. Put your chin next to his. Yeah. If he doesn't land, he starts using your comfort. Just lift up a little bit. See, now he's here. It's just a little movement that you can use. And your hand comes in and grabs. Now you're going to put your chin on the wrist. Still a lot more pressure. And you don't have to do as much. You don't have to do as much movement and squeezing and flexing. You're already making all that connection. Like when you teach the choke, the razor choke. We teach the collar choke. We teach all kinds of stuff. What do we talk about when we talk about chokes? To choke someone, you have to have what? Pressure. How do you pressure something? You connect to it. So the more surface area that I can be on top of when I increase the pressure, whether it's a collar, whether it's my hand, whether it's my arm, whatever. If I can connect early and apply pressure early, the choke's going to finish faster. If you've ever been in a choke by somebody who's borderline already had it in, and they might not have had the right position, and then you fall into that position, or you got adjusted just enough, and then it's like, it's gone immediately, 100%. It starts with that good connection. One of the things you can do, and then we'll jump into just one addition is, notice how I'm here, but for that position, I like to, as deep as I can, and if your arms will allow, I bring it up to the armpit, and I like to grab my wrist, okay? This is okay, but these move around, and these can be manipulated, and his hand can find its way up in between them and start breaking that grip. But when I grab a long bone and hold it like it's a baseball bat, and I pull it here, it's tight, there's no space for me. And see how his shoulder, his arm is just kind of hanging? Can you reach up and touch my connections here, bro? Yeah. So we're here. But if I lift this up, it takes all the power out of it. He doesn't like that. That's a different angle, right? If I'm down here, he can grab it and pull down. Yeah, see that? How he moved the whole system right there. But if I lift it, go ahead and pull it down, his fingers he doesn't have the leverage. So this is something that you can use to come here. Maybe grab this shoulder. I'm not submitting him. If I'm in the gi, I'm about to submit him. But not right now. This is a good control. You feel comfortable with it. You feel like you're at less of an advantage because your arm is straight up in the air. Yeah.
Not anymore, it's not.
Boom.
Thanks you, didn't I?
Sure did. And here we are, right? So, that's just an extra. You're here, nice and tight, you just lift that elbow up. Just wing it. And you don't have to wing it for the whole time. You can just wing it up and it just come in like this. You can start locking up, doing different kind of compression chokes. If it's in the gi and you get here, grabbing that collar, shooting a hand behind. We've done that before. But what's our main purpose? We want to submit, obviously. We want to win, right? But what is one of the goals of us constantly attacking the neck? Mine off the limits. Mine off the limits. Distract him from getting out of the hooks. So that leads us into the next part, hooks. Our hooks are good here, right? He might peel one off. He might fall to a side. And now we have to worry about how he's going to start escaping. Because he's going to start escaping. We fall to the side here, and CJ will press on that leg. Now he walks out, and he gets away. Boom, right? even if I have this upper body control still, unless you practice it and know it, you're not gonna know how to retain and get back to the back. There are ways, but if you don't know what you don't know, you can't be mad at it. You go, okay, how do I do better? Here's how we're gonna do better. CJ's here. I'm just gonna give a loose seat belt. CJ's gonna drop to the side, like he just did. Pause. As we're dropping to the side, we don't do this, we have a couple options. If your legs are long enough and you're comfortable with what's called the body triangle, you're gonna bring that bottom foot across the hips and you're gonna lock it in like this. I like to get here and then hook my foot behind his leg. Go ahead and stick that leg out, you defensive sucker. He's being defensive, he doesn't like this. This kind of locks him in there. And I can use this to straighten and leverage and squeeze his ribs and his abdomen. And it sucks, especially if you're already tired and you're a little gassed and you're fighting, you're defending your neck, and they throw a body triangle in and start squeezing, that's icing on cake stuff right there. They're in a suck position, and if they're not comfortable, confident, and used to that, dealing with those scenarios, there's a good chance they're gonna spaz and give up a submission, right? Or make a mistake, one or the other, right? There's that option. The body triangle comes with a caveat. If you get rolled to the opposite side, oh, go easy. Here, and he starts to hip forward, it's no different than if I cross my ankles, he got in front and hips forward, I get ankle locked. Once again, if you're a Moss integrity and you don't want to tap, but you like limping, go ahead, don't tap. So an option for that is this. You can either sit here, and as soon as he goes to roll you, you will switch it in transit, if you're used to it. Or the one I like, which is less, is I come up here on this hip. I'll put one foot across, and I'll either set them on each other, or I'll post this on his hip, pressing down with my other foot right behind it. So I've got pressure on my ankle, and I got pressure on his hip. It doesn't look like I'm doing much of it. It looks like they're just sitting there. Well, go ahead and get your hips up. Punch me in the face. Sorry.
I can't see you. You have
That's all. See, look at that.
it's all your fault.
I know. And the same thing applies. So what happens is this, I'm not locked in. So if he does a dynamic switch of the hips, I can go back, and then I can just come back here, and I can post here. I'm not in danger of getting leg locked, right? No ankles, no trap. Also, I like this as well, because, and let's slide to face it. I like this one as well because if I'm here and we're battling up top, and I get a cross grip, boom, and I push this down, right there. But you might hang, which is the good defense, hang that right hand on that, boom, no worries. Now, remember I just said don't cross your ankles when you have the back? When you're trapping an arm, and you're this high up, you can cross your ankles. If you don't want to, that's fine. Stick your body to here, hide this foot behind the back. Those work as well. But just know that in this scenario, when you hide your foot, there's an arm bar there. If their arms aren't very flexible, they may tap, and you're like, I haven't choked you, what's going on? Just know that they're tapping. There's always this opportunity as you're going really tight, put your foot back there, you might be straightening their arm at the right angle for an arm bar. So be prepared for that. But he's defending. He doesn't want that. You slide this one in. Right? Then he'll skip to that one. So you see it's the process of back and forth. But what am I doing? I'm controlling his hips, and he's not thinking about these hips right now. He's got one arm, one opportunity to defend, and I've got two. So this is us. Boom. Pull him up. And now we're back here. If you want to be really saucy, look at this cross grip again. Now you've got both. I mean, you can just toy with them.
Buffalo.
Tuck your neck. Tuck your neck.
Yeah. That's some of the straight jacket series, guys, but the point I'm trying to make is the hip control is where it's at. You're controlling the hips. If they're falling from side to side, and you have the traditional hooks in, it works fine. But know that when they fall side to side, their body slides onto one leg to open them up so they can escape. What's more efficient for you is to bring that bottom leg across the hips to keep them there. Whether you body triangle or put the foot on the hip and kind of pin them together and keep it there, that's gonna keep their hips from being able to rotate flat on that one leg. If they rotate flat on your one leg, you recognize that you're losing the position. And if you don't have an answer for it or a way to retain it or pull them back across, just get the better position before they get out. Just come up to side control, come up to mount. Okay? That's a good transition, there's no loss there. But I would say go back and dissect this hip control and say, wow, every time they do this every time. Every time we fall to the side, boom, we're here. And he starts just rotating his hips and he gets his back, and now it's like, oh no, what do we do? I don't know, he's getting out, now I'm lost, right? But once you get comfortable being here, right? And you know he's gonna fall to the side, you could, oh, look, I feel him falling to the side. I just took my foot and put it right there. All right, look, oh my God. This man is Santa Claus. Because it's Christmas in, still February? February. Yeah, put that hand on the foot, because he wants to escape. Boom. He just set you up. I know, just put it on. Heavens, look at that. That's awesome. You know what I'm saying? Now we're here. He can do whatever he wants. Which hand do you want to defend with? You want to grab this one? You want to grab that one? Come on. He says, no, I want this one. He grabs that one. You come in, boom. So you see the point. You see how it goes back and forth, right? Now, we're here. We've got this one trapped. I pull it away, and now we're here. Boom. We're holding on. Okay? At the end of the day, whether it's a body triangle or it's the pressure on the hip, it's going to be good control. But like I said, my reason for liking this is I don't have to lock everything in, which means I don't have to worry about him reversing it, but then also that foot's right there, it's ready. So as soon as his hand goes down, or I can get a cross grip and leave a little space here, shoot my heel into that gap, and I don't have to let it go. I can wrap it and keep it. Can't even hold that. That might be a bicep flexor. Yeah, could be. Who knows? But guys, here you go. So there's a system to it. There's an art to it, but it's practice, right? Hip control right here. Here, with a good old-fashioned tradition. And I'll give you an honorable mention. He gets his leg over. He beats this hook. Not that one, the top. Not that lower. We're here. Oh man, this is terrible. I've lost. Should I give up? No. I'll just lock my legs behind, and I can cross my ankles here behind his leg. I'm not in danger of the ankle lock. He's given the assumption he's out, right? I still have upper body control. He can roll his leg if he wants to try to escape, but I can hip forward and straighten him out, and I still have him. So in the beginning, guys, this one is good if he starts to get that one leg out and I still have it. And look, I've straightened him out. What can I do now? Just reinsert. He pushes it down, he gets away. Oh no, I'm still here, nice and tight. It goes back. So as you practice, start with the traditional, hashtag no crossing the ankles. You fall to the side, transition to the pressure. If you want to go down that sweet, sweet body triangle road, go down there. I suggest with each of these, you go back and forth, rolling back and forth, feeling what it feels like to have to transition. And then if you're comfortable with it, I'll mention the single. All right? And if you feel like you're losing the position, one of the things we often forget is that we can do this. Stretch them out. Right there. Okay? Any questions? All right. Give it to your partners and let's give a shot on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Tired to take Bradley to work.
This is terrible, bro. What's up, bro? You good? Good, man. Good. If you want to jump in with any one of these guys, we'll let you work. You can't always bring that body triangle.
Don't look.
Shoot your hips up in the beginning, then shoot that across.
I guess that's not bad then, huh? And I've done that little stuff. This is like, which one? Keep this hip up. Don't let me move that.
Nice. Got the tread.
Am I there? I can't tell.
So,
Oh,
like, just press, not, all this is with some tension, but not like,
okay.
Do you feel that pressure on your hip? Do you feel like you could like move it at all? It slows your hips down at all?
Yeah.
So if you can tap it, neck these in some fashion.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
So what it does is, your pressure's on her hip, right? Switch your foot. So get that across again. Just sit here for a second. So bring that one across, right? Let me see. Hold on. Watch your. You can bring this here, so straight. Yeah. Now put this on the instep. Now, do you feel more pressure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With your hips like forward on my back. Yeah.
As you go forward with your hips, you're pressing on the feet, and that's creating the pressure. But you're on our hips, but you're also driving through your own legs, so both of them there. It's a structure that's being created. It's causing more.
Okay. Yeah, that's
You see what I'm saying? But if you need to unhook that and let go, what do you do for that? You just go, instead of trying to unwrap and unravel and then think about it, going the other way, how do I get out? And all this other stuff. You see what I'm saying? Less complicated, really versatile, but it definitely does create pressure. And that's usually specifically for when you fall to the side. Fall to the side, boom, legs comes across. And then, let me see. Now just bring this knee up and press down. Pressure?
I just popped your back.
Oh, what that? Oh, her back? No copay. There's no copays. Don't worry about it. So that lets you know there's good pressure. You just realign your vertebrae. And you don't have to. Don't. You can do that to straighten out, but you don't have to. Just relax. Relax your body. Keep the pressure there on that foot. How's that? Pretty good pressure. Try to get out a little bit. Try to move.
It's good.
Movement. There it is. If you make a mistake of putting your arm back there during the arm movement because it's not even on you, yeah, see, you gotta grab it.
Yeah.
Try one more? We'll try,
The other day rolling where you used to beat the shit out of me. And I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's you or the other girl.
As soon as he defends it, if this one comes in, you grab his body.
Yeah, no, just need to make sure they're up. Yeah, see that feels so much better than the first time.
Now, bring it behind his back. I know Matt's got this tight shoulder. Matt's got the tight elbows. So with him, it would be because his elbows. If you put the laces on your shoe, on your foot, right here behind his back, it does that. Put the laces on the back. Laces on the back. You slide it. Slide it back as far as you can. So, but that's there, right? And then you start coming back on the neck. Right? I give it to you, guess what? And the other thing is this. Bring that, pull them across your chest, bring the other way. Yes. Boom. Now. Yep. But if you bring this down. And then you just move it. He says it don't work. Go like this. This. Like this.
never stay somewhere
And just.
Something's gonna work.
It's okay, Tommy. Wheelchairs back here. We'll go like it's at. I know I've got my name on one of them. All right, guys. Any questions? There's a lot to that. That's just like an entrance into it. I know sometimes I try not to get too deep into the back and forth. And if you get confused with like, I don't remember, the wheel's spinning, and you're like, I don't know, I'm in the middle of a roll, and then it just sucks because I lost it, whatever. The first part, nice and tight. Don't hulk out. Keep it tight, nice and snug, elbows back. Move your head with your head. Stay close. If you attack, they don't think about the hips. On the bottom, don't cross your ankles. From a traditional, right? Side to side, whether it's a triangle, whether it's just the pressure. And if you lose one leg, wrap the other one up and keep it, okay? If that's all you remember those simple details. Let the rest of it fall to the wayside. If you don't remember it, that's okay. We'll pick up on it again, we teach it over and over again, and we'll go back to it. We'll add some more things to it, okay? But if you're able to retain some of those finer details, cross gripping, attacking from different positions, that's good. Try to put it into play when we start rolling. Any questions? All right, on through the stand about 1, 2, 3.